Hello and welcome. Good evening. This is Amir Lahijy live from Los Angeles, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you. You sharing our website and our app with your friends and family. It's very supportive. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. I was talking with Dr. Foojan Zeine last week about the foundation of relationship and this house of relationship, and also roof. She mentioned very profound to foundation. It's very important, and obviously it is. That's why today we are going to other side of Los Angeles and talk to her. Let's see. Hello, Dr. Zeine.
Hello, Amir. It's nice to be with you and everyone who's being with us, everyone who's watching us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. And I was thinking whole week, and I was waiting for Friday to talk to you about foundation of relationship.
I think we talked about all
Mm-hmm.
the different ways that we are together and the love, and then we talked about what is under the foundation, not the walls and not the roof, but what is the foundation. And I said the foundation is really self-care and self-awareness, because it takes you to be
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship. It takes
Right.
your thoughts, your behaviors, your feelings, and the way you conduct yourself in a relationship that either takes the relationship forward or creates a fight at every time, or it moves it away. So, we talked about trust, we talked about commitment, and all of those, but it takes the you in order to create that. So that's why it's important for you to be able to learn how to monitor your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, and how to maneuver those in order to move forward with what it is that you want. Um,
Right.
I had actually today I was talking to a client, and he was getting defensive at every single movement that his girlfriend was doing. And then we looked at, well, what kind of a status, where have you put that person that whatever they say to you, you
Mm-hmm.
feel defensive? Well, that state of defensiveness creates a huge amount of fights with the conversations that don't really need to be, to have that fight. So when we talk, we may be able to take this and put it in the communication part of the wall, but it's still how, if I'm aware of myself, I can be watching me and what comes out of my mouth and
Mm-hmm.
how it comes out of my mouth, or the way I do things, the way I intended, what's happening inside that shows up in my not only words, but my tonality, my body language, and it puts an effect here, and then it goes and comes back. So that I would say is the foundation of any relationship, because I could go to different relationships and say this one didn't work, that one didn't work, because it's obviously everybody else's fault. But somehow I got to be looking at how am I contributing, how am I sourcing the love and passion and cooperation and moving forward, or how am I part of feeding into upsets and rage and non-trusting, and developing a communication that is threatening, dominating, and not working pretty much.
Correct. Dr. Zane, you mentioned about self-love and self-care. When and how should I learn about self-love?
I think the most important factor is if we learn to become aware of the thought process that we have. We all have a voice in our head. It talks to us. Sometimes it gives us opinions about the whole world, and it always gives us opinions about us. To really look at, is that opinion that is being about giving about me? Is it nurturing? Is it positive? Is it negative? And even if I'm telling myself that I made a mistake or there's something wrong that I did or watched, is it punitive, or is it more just like a notice? Well, you did this, didn't work, let's do something else. Or like, you're stupid, how can you? There's nothing, you'll never be anything. So monitoring those type of conversations that we have about to ourselves, and it shows you what you think of yourself, and then it's looking at how can I shift that type of a tonality and the belief about myself to raise myself to a place of knowing that I deserve. I
Mhm.
deserve to be loved. I deserve to love. I deserve the best things in the relationship. And I'm a human being, and I make mistakes, and I look at the skills I don't have, and I'll go learn it. So shifting that voice from a punitive one, a negative one, to a nurturing one, um, and and a, and shifting it into even if it's a criticism toward myself, a constructive criticism. Uh, that is the first part that I can do. Second part is accepting all parts of myself. You know,
Mhm.
I might not like all parts of myself. I might not think that I'm in control of all parts of myself. But it's okay, to look at the bigger package. That there's so many areas of my life or so many things about myself, my qualities, my strengths that I love and I like, and the areas I don't like. And what can I do about the ones that I don't like? If I can shift something, if I can learn skills, awesome. If there are areas that I can't really change, whether it was a genetic concept that I got, or something in the past that I've made a mistake, it's okay. I need to accept myself and kind of like shift toward my strength, things that I love and things that I can be useful with when it comes to the world, and concentrate on those things, and accept the things that I can't change about myself and monitor them. You know, some people their temper is higher than other people. It's
Mhm.
okay. Like, I don't have to medicate myself. If I need to, I will. If it's not creating a good quality in my life, then maybe I need to, choose to go in and get help from medication. But if not, then I can learn skills in how to monitor that rage and anger and calm it down, and learn how to bring it. I don't need to make that part of me fall. Just knowing that it's not useful. So I'll put a leash on it. I'll work on it and manage it. So I might have a genetic component of addiction that came from hereditary. And yes, I made a mistake in teen years and I became addicted. My brain will never go back to the state of non-addiction. I have to accept that part of me that's addicted, monitor it, maintain that disease that I got, and move on with life. So that's what I mean by kind of like an acceptance of myself, about things that are not in my hand, but they're there. Things that I did and they were in my hand, but I make the wrong choices, and maybe I'm paying for it. But then learn how to manage those and shift to every area that I have strength about.
Okay, amazing. Uh, Let me ask you this question, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, if I'm lovable, if I believe I'm lovable, so this feeling started from my childhood, from my parents and caregiver, right? So,
Yeah, what I usually learn, anybody, a human being learns from their parents and caregivers.
mhm.
We take what we see from outside and the way they treat us, and we say, okay, that is who I am, and we get built. So at one point, it's about caregivers, and then the rest will be extended families, and then when we go to school, then it's our peers, and then when we go to grow up, there's our relationship, and then we have children, it's our children. So,
Mhm.
and then the community in a sense. So we gain love from different groups at different
Mhm.
ages and phases of life, and each one of them is important for us to have. Um, but the first one that creates our identity
Mhm.
uh, is our parents, and
Mhm.
then, as I said, the second one are our peer, the third one our love relationship, and then our work and career. So you see, we built ourselves and our self confidence and self esteem when in each one of these developmental stages we were able to give and receive love from this
Mhm.
different type of people, and that's where we become kind of like full, not full of ourselves, but full,
Mhm.
full in a way that we're no longer empty, that we're filled in a sense with the ego strength, not a wrong ego, but the ego strength. And I know who I am, and I know what my strengths are. and I know what my vulnerabilities are, and I know how to kind of like help take care of myself. I have the agency to take care of myself, and in that way, that's how it's built. So it starts with parents, but it doesn't stop with parents.
Hmm. So if I am a person, I have this, issue. I feel I have a lack of, self-love, and obviously is related to trust, to be vulnerable with the other people. I feel is a root of the lots of thing is self-love. So, and how can I work on, this issue? I feel it's very helpful for people. Lots of people ask these questions.
Yes, as I said, the best thing to do is to first monitor where is it that you're not loving yourself, what kind of belief systems you've acquired, whether you acquired it from your parents or whether you acquired it when you went to school and your friends bullied you or ridiculed you and then created you the wrong way. Or maybe your first love cheated on you and then you're like, there you go, I'm not good enough. So you have a lot of areas in your life where you could have make the love towards yourself or destroyed it towards yourself with the way
Mhm.
that you made a belief. So it's looking at those areas and then coming to do some reality check with yourself, which is um, what are the things that I'm good at, and list those. What is it that I'm not good at or I'm vulnerable at? List those. So
Mhm.
that's what I say with the reality check. I'm not saying just give yourself a lot of, empty sentences. You got to believe that you're worth it. How are you going to believe? Do reality check. Ask, 10, 20 people around you, what do they like
Mhm.
about you? Because that's tangible evidence. They
Mhm.
live with you or they're around you. And these are the things they've seen. So somehow you behave that way. Somehow you presented yourself that way. So other people will tell you, like, I like this about you. This is a character. It's really good. So that's one way of doing a reality check. You can look at the results that you have in your life, what you've created on a tangible basis, what took from you, what kind of character or skill took from you to create this result. Like if you have a career, what part of has the ability to create a career and sustain it? If you have good friends, if you've got a good relationship with your family, if you've got, things like homes and cars and havings that you have, what kind of strength and skills inside of you, what qualities that you have inside of you has created all of this. So then you're doing reality check and you're talking on a reality base so that you can begin believing yourself, believing that, hey, that's me, like that's who I am, because I actually have tangible results out there. And then being forgiving to yourself when you make mistakes, like getting that you're a human being, and checking all the expectations that you have of yourself, and are they real? Are they too much? Can anybody in the world, kind of like stand up to the expectations you actually created for them? And many times we see we're much more forgiving to other human beings than we are. We don't uphold other people to ridiculous amount of expectations that we hold for ourselves to others. So that's where reality testing comes up. And to me, when we do that and we look at who I am is among all these people. Amir, many times I have clients which we talk about and they generalize things in a way that I usually say to them, oh, so you mean you're the only one that is like this and you have 7.5 billion people on the other side that are not like you. And then they're like, oh. And I'm like, well, then what's special about you that you're this bad and everybody else is that good? Like, obviously, there's some specialness about you that's so different. So you really check that how you make up this stuff about yourself, they're so out of the spectrum of reality. And the reality is, I'm just one of these 7.5 billion people, I'm
But
taller than some and shorter than some, better than some and worse than some.
Dr. Zain, you are talking about awareness and full mindedness. It's not easy, and I need to learn how should I be aware of everything and catch myself. I think this is not easy. Just I'm working by myself. I believe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but correct me, please. I believe we need someone to guide us, professional therapists like you, to uh, start this and guide and start this path and journey to improve our life, and also to going to the next step of our life, that we call it maturity, right? How is it any key, if you want to give us a key for awareness and mindfulness?
Sure. I mean, I could plug in my book. Life Reset is exactly the techniques that I've put in specifically into how to create the awareness. And the model that I created is called awareness integration. So I've given you a key in that book which you could take it. The key that I'm giving you is specifically what I'm asking you to do, which I said, um, there are 4 questions I want you to ask. What do I think? What do I feel? How do I behave? And what is the impact of my thinking, feeling, and behaving? What kind of an impact? So I have the thought and the emotion in my head. I have the behavior coming out of me externally, from internal to external. And I have an impact. I have a result right there, which is completely out there. It's a tangible result that I can look at. And I can set up a camera that I can watch this, like right now. What do I think about it? What do I think about the way he asks me questions? What do I think about, his show? What do I think about what do I guess, kind of like think about the audience that are watching? How do I feel about him here, right? What do I do every time he calls me or he sends me a text and says, what topic are we going to talk about? And so on. And then what kind of an impact this type of thinking has. So if I think of you as a great guy who's skilled, who's really working hard to create this, these type of shows, created for people to get themselves better and better every day. And then the impact would be that I will, every time you ask me to come on the show, I would honor you. I would, listen to you when you're doing that. I would be feeling open to share with you. And if I don't think of you that way, if I don't think that you're good enough for what you're doing, and I don't like something about you and the way that you treat me or others, or I have these judgments about you, well, how's that going to affect? Because my behavior is going to be that when you call me or text me, then I would just say, no, I don't want to.
I'm
or
busy.
give you a derogatory, I'm busy, or I give you a derogatory concept, right? So, and then you'll see it in my face and you'll see it in my words. So it's like starts from here and then it comes out here and it has an impact. So then the impact is that if you and I can cooperate and work together because we like each other and we kind of like believe in each other, then the shows go on. And if we don't, we won't have a relationship. That's just wasn't going to happen. I mean, it's that simple to keep looking instead of me saying, well, Amir is this and Amir is that, and he's the one who's doing this and he's the one who's doing that. No, I can look at, so I can't control you or your thoughts. I can look at how am I coming across? How do I assume things about you? And then I also watch, what do I think of myself when I'm on these shows? Do I think I'm competent? Do I think I'm qualified? Do I think that I can articulate well? But can you imagine, like Amir, I would come here and I would say, oh God, he's going to ask me a question. I have no idea how to answer. How is everybody going to look at me? How's my hair? Is my hair okay? Like, the way I would speak, I would go like this and speak, and my voice would go low and I wouldn't be confident. Like when you ask me a question out of the blue, and half of the times I don't know what you're going to ask me because you just, you and I talk about a topic. That's it, right? The questions are new to me. So if I'm really nervous at every time, like I'm going to screw up every time. I don't know how to answer. Well, you will not have this, kind of like a confident person who's coming and, people really believe in what I say because they believe in what I say because I believe in what I say. So you can see how then that would impact. your audience. You know, the people who would give you comments about our show would be completely different.
Thank you. Yeah, correct.
Does that make
Exactly.
sense?
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. I'm trying to do better because I want to see a better impact and see you more than one day. So, and let's talk about you know because trust, as you said, trust and honesty, it's a part of the foundation. So, uh,
Trust and honesty were part of the walls that you created.
okay, is a
Yeah.
part of the wall, but in foundation, still in foundation, we are just with self-care and self-love. That's
Well,
it.
how you designed this is how you designed it last time. You said,
Mm,
if this is the house, what are the four walls? And I gave you the four walls. And then we said, okay, and then you said the top is love, and then you said, what is the foundation? And I said, what's missing here, and what is the foundation is self care and self love. So if
okay.
you're going, like you're walking as
But
an individual,
what is
you're
what is
walking.
your opinion? What's your opinion? If you want to say foundation, and then what is in the wall and what is roof? Because I researched and I learned it in the last couple of years in this way. But I didn't ask you, and it's good to know what's your opinion
No, well,
about.
you asked me there are four walls, so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like snuck in six things in the four walls,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And then you said the roof is love, which I believe in, so that's fine. And then
Mm-hmm.
you asked me what the foundation was, and I said, I would put self care. So
Okay.
if my point to you is, the foundation is a land,
Mm-hmm.
because we're talking about kind of like the analogy of the home. The foundation is a land, so that
Mm-hmm.
land has to be strong enough
Right.
for any
Exactly.
type of house to go on it. So when we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about the foundation, it's like self care. It has to be strong enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Myself, has to
Mm-hmm.
be
And it's
strong
very,
enough,
very, very important.
right? So that I can put any type of a house in there. Now, the type of the house that we put in there, the type of the relationship that we put in there, it could be any type. You could
Mm-hmm.
choose any type. So then you're
Exactly.
like, what is a successful relationship that the walls can withhold? It's like, okay, those are the ones that can, withhold. So if we have the honesty, if we have the trust, if we have the good communication, if we have safety, security, all of those elements together
Mm-hmm.
create, that. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, it needs to be held by love, because it can't be held by anything else. If you're going to have an intimate relationship, that love needs to be there. It's like that's the only reason like we get together and we want to be
Exactly.
together
Exactly.
is to have the concept of the love together. So um, all of them together would create a fulfilling relationship. If
Mm.
any of these elements are not right, then it crumbles. But imagine if the foundation gets a crack, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what you do with the wall, it will fall.
Mm.
So if you, yourself, your ego, um, your representation of who you are, your self confidence and self esteem gets a crack,
Mm.
all of the relationship can fall.
Right.
So that's why it's important to have the foundation really, really uh, firm and right for
Stronger.
any
Yeah.
type of strong for the intent of the building to go up.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So, to close this segment, in 1 minute, please.
Install a good camera here, watching yourself. Monitor your thought process, monitor your emotions, name your emotions, regulate your emotions, and between the two, look at how you behave and then what kind of result you have. If the result you have is something you don't like, check your intentions, check your thought process, check your emotional process, check how you created that result. If you don't like it, shift one of those, any of those, in order to create.
Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. It was beautiful. Very, very profound. I love it. Thank you so much. And in next segment, I have a couple questions. We have a couple questions from our audience, and we are going to answer that questions. Okay? Thank you so much. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere because we have a questions and answer. Okay? Stay in touch and tell to your friends. Download our app and come here.